G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Flash Like Crazy. Today I am reviewing a comparison video, a head-to-head between the Acebeam Terminator M1 and the Acebeam Terminator M2. Let's check them out. Alright, here we are, a head-to-head, a Terminator head-to-head. Who would have thought? Definitely not me. Okay, what's in the box? Well, this is a nice shiny box. That looks pretty cool. Now, let's see what's inside it. Okay, so first things first is your Acebeam warranty card. Please, folks, go to your authorized dealers and stay away from grey markets. That would be my suggestion. You will get 2 spare O-rings. Beautiful. You will get a USB-C to USB-A cord. That is not going to charge anywhere. It's not an onboard charging port of the light. However, if you unscrew one of the ends where the battery comes out, you will see that your 18650 battery comes with a USB-C charging port. 3100 milliamp hours, 3.6 volt. Positive side, bang, goes down there. The battery will stick out like that. Don't think it's broken because the cap goes over it and is secured by that beautiful O-ring there. Look at that. You'll also get an Acebeam lanyard. Acebeam are doing very well with their lanyards, have done for quite a while. There was a period there where they gave a pretty basic lanyard, but they have lifted their game in terms of lanyards, and I'm impressed. Their lanyards are good quality. And last, but of course not least, you will get your Terminator 2 user manual. So this is the cool white 6500K version, 3200 lumen max. Holy moly. And the Terminator M1 comes in this kind of ominous box, isn't it? It's like, oh, what's in there? Cash? No, just the Terminator 1. Not just, I shouldn't say just. Okay, so you will get the exact same things in the Terminator 1. You'll even get that, which I took that out of the Terminator 2. So you've got 2 spare O-rings, really nice O-rings there. You've got your warranty card again, authorized dealer. USB-C to USB-A. And again, looking around this light, there is no onboard charging. So what could it be? Could it be the same as the M2? I dare say it is. So 21700, not 18650, 5100 milliamp hour, 3.7 volt, and there is your USB-C port. Again, top of the battery will poke out. Don't stress, that is designed to do that. And you will feel when you screw this in that the O-ring is doing its job. Oh yeah. Again, fantastic lanyard. Just superb the way they're producing their lanyards. And the M1 user manual. This one is in the 519A, Nietzsche 519A CRI of 90, 2300 lumen max. So they've upped the lumens on the old Terminator 2. And so we will go over all the parameters as well. All right, here they are. Now let's zoom in, have a bit of a look. So, starting with their stature of both of them, okay? The Terminator 2 comes in at a bit smaller, bit shorter, a bit thinner as well. See that? And it has a pocket clip. It has a screwed-on pocket clip, which I love. I think the, if nothing else, the additive of that pocket clip is sold me. I love the pocket clip. But there's plenty to go over in terms of the differences between these two. Now, the Terminator M1 is not a difficult light to hold or operate. It is awkward to start with, yes, but you do get used to it. Click a switch on to turn it on, hold that switch down to cycle modes, click a switch to swap from LEP to LED, hold to cycle modes, double click for highest output, double click for lowest output, single click for off. Very, very simple. While it's on, only on LEP, you can zoom as well. You can zoom all the way out to get a really high throw, or all the way in to get some more flood if you see that there. So as I move it back from the wall, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And that just helps with a larger projection. So as you can see, I can do all that with one hand. Okay, now I am right-handed, so I want to keep this fair. The Terminator 2, whilst I want to use it, so I've got this pocketed, okay? So it's in my pants, in my pocket, whatever, on my belt. I pull it out. Now I'm holding it here. How do I turn it on? Well, I need to change grips, click, there we go. Change grips again, hold. Now, to swap from spotlight to floodlight, there we go. Spot, flood, spot, flood. Now, spotlight is just one output, one size. There's no zoom or changing of outputs. That's all it is. Floodlight, you can change outputs, but it needs to be from the tail switch. So you've got to change grips, and then you need to press and hold, and that's going to cycle, okay? Press and hold, and if I double click, goes all the way up. Press and hold, goes down. And I can hold it like this. There's nothing wrong with holding it like that and holding it up kind of like that, like you would with any tactical light with a tail switch. The only issue is when I want to swap from spotlight to floodlight, let's say I'm holding it like this, so with the tail switch at the bottom area, which is not very comfortable. I like to have it on the top, but let's say I'm holding it like this. I can then kind of access that with my thumb. So that's how you would do it. So right now I've got my thumb on the switch and I can switch it. It is a bit awkward. You do need to do a little bit of moving. So, and then click off. So that, you know, the M1, you're holding it like this and you can access everything, okay? Even if you're holding it in your left hand, you can still access everything and you can turn, well, it's not as easy actually to turn it because you can't leverage the LEP as well, the zoom, but you still can with one hand. Whereas with this, it is difficult. You could, I guess, hold it back here, turn it on, click, click, and then change grips again, press and hold. You know, you can get creative, but it is less ergonomically sound than the M1. But you are getting more lumens and you're getting them in a smaller package as well. So, you know, you're also getting a lot lighter, in fact. Let's do some dimensions. So let's start with the M1 because it is significantly lighter. That'll be due to battery, but also the size. Look, man, it's small. It's smaller. Look at it in my palm. It's not a very good shot, sorry, but it is small. In fact, if I stand them up and put my hands kind of back here, you can really see, I mean, the M2 is taking up my whole finger length, really. The sorry, I'll try not to make these mistakes. The M1 is taking up my whole finger length. The M2, you know, is not at all. So it is a lot smaller. M2, 198.95 grams. M1 is more than 300 grams because my scales went into error. So 198 grams here, 304 grams here is what Acebeam says. So a full 100 grams plus difference in the weight of these. Now the size. So let's just zoom back in. Okay, so we have got the full length of the M1 is a little over 10 centimeters. I want to say 10.3 centimeters. M2 is, wow, 9.5 centimeters, so 95 millimeters. So, wow, it is significantly smaller. Now, the overall width is 49.05 millimeters for the M2 and 62.98, so 63 millimeters in the M1. Actually, I'll just do this as well. Wait, make sure it's zeroed. I've made that mistake before. No, I want 0. Thank you. So this large LEP lens is 35.02, so 35 millimeters. Whereas this is not an LEP, but this throw lens is 24 or 24 and a half. So we do have significant differences in measurements and weights. Okay, this one, the M2, is significantly smaller and lighter and more pocketable, therefore. Okay, so now if we talk output, so I've shown you how to use them and that the M2 is a little bit more awkward to use, I believe. And actually I might just say the finish on the M1 is nicer. I don't know I don't know why, but it is nicer. This kind of, it's almost like a cross between a matte and a glossy finish. It is nicer than the M2. The M2 is not bad. I'm not saying it's bad, but the M1 is nice. It feels like it's got a nicer material, a nicer finish. Okay, so the M1 is going to give you, so let's just get it on. Okay, so we got it on flood, and I should zoom out for this just because you'll probably get some pulse width modulation. So let's get it down to the lowest output. Okay, so actually, that's not the lowest output. I will get you to the lowest output. So pressing and holding while on flood, that there is your moonlight mode of 1 lumen. Pretty impressive 1 lumen. However, the Terminator 1 has a moonlight mode of 0.5 lumen. So if you prefer a lower moonlight mode, then the M1 is your go-to. But before I go any further, I just want to make a point. Okay, when you turn on the M2, you are going to know whether it's in floodlight or spotlight because there's a very, very obvious switch right there, okay? The M1, you're not. You have to turn it on first and realize, oh, I'm in flood, but I want spot, or vice versa. That is a cool upgrade with the M2, that you know you can choose what you turn it on in, okay? So that is cool. All right, back to outputs. So we're pressing and holding from off in both of them, and you're going to get your moonlight mode. And as I said, you've got 1 lumen in the M2, which lasts 38 hours. You've got 0.5 lumen or 0.5 lumens in the M1, which will last 2.8 days. Now, if I press and hold on both of them, they will both cycle. And this is a good difference between the warm white over here and the cool white over here. So that's what you're going to get if, so take your pick basically, because both of these come in cool white and neutral. Okay, so now we have a high of 1,200 lumens for 115 minutes. Then it drops down to 50 lumens for 25 minutes in the M2. The M1, we have a high of 700 lumens for 2 hours and 50 minutes. That's it. Now, if I cycle with both of them, it's going to go down to low. So low, medium 1, medium 2, and high is the cycles you get with these lights. If I want turbo, double click. Now, turbo, 3,200 lumens over here for 110 seconds. Then it drops down to 1,200 lumens for 110 minutes. Then 50 lumens for 25 minutes. Over here, 2,300 lumens for 110 seconds. And then 700 lumens for 2 hours and 40 minutes. So a better overall runtime over here, but that's understandable, 21,700. Now, heat, M1, not very hot. M2, starting to get scorching. So that's a big, big difference. Wowee, the M2 is starting to scorch up, particularly over the top here. So understandably, you have a lot more lumen output, 1,000 more or 900 more in fact. But wow, it's getting hot. Now look, it's not uncontrollable, so I can't hold it, but it is uncomfortable and I don't like it. Now, single click off, single click off. Single click back on, single click back on does not get you to turbo, okay? So turbo is not memorized. And if I just show you that, double click, turbo is not memorized. But now the M1 has something the M2 does not. 1, 2, 3, strobe. Oh, wow, that was yuck. The M1, 1, 2, 3, sorry, the M2 just goes to turbo when you double click it, but it also has your throw as well. So you can throw and flood at the same time with the M2. You cannot with the M1. So that is cool. Now, if we just change it to spotlight, so I have to turn this on and then change it to spotlight. So your spotlight in your M2 is just one output. That's it. It's a high of 900 lumens, which you'll get for 50 seconds. And then it drops to 400 lumens for 1 hour and 50 minutes. But during the 900 lumen burst, you do get 500 meters of throw because it comes out at 62,500 candela. Over here, however, the turbo is 700 lumens for 110 seconds, then drops to 300 lumens for 1 hour and 50 minutes. However, you get 1,600 meters of throw pushed out by 640,000 candela. So 62,500 candela, 640,000 candela. And you also have low, high, turbo. But in the M1, you also have the ability to zoom out, so you get a big, big hotspot, okay? Now, there is a difference, quite a substantial difference between these two in terms of their throw, and that is one of them, the M2, is an LED. It's not an LEP. I thought it was an LEP first, but it's not. It's an LED that goes through this kind of through hole. Well, I don't know what it's called really, but it's just got this awesome magnifying lens that makes it kind of look like a projector. Whereas the M1 is an actual laser excited phosphor. Now, both of these lights have lockouts and everything like that. One thing that the M2 has that the M1 doesn't have, if I press and hold, okay, we're into auxiliary. Look at that. So it does give you an auxiliary. Now that's changing auxiliary, right? Now, if I press and hold from that, it's going to change to constant red. Press and hold, constant green. Press and hold, constant blue or purple. I might be colorblind. Press and hold, flashing green. Press and hold, flashing red. Actually, SOS red, my mistake. And all of these are going to be, so for example, SOS red is 0.5 volumen. You're going to get that for 1,042 hours. So it's a crazy amount. Press and hold again, constant red, press and hold, constant green. So it just cycles through that. So auxiliary is cool. Love it. Single click off. No auxiliary for the M1, I'm afraid. Now, some people could say that's a gimmick. I like it. I think it's cool. So I don't think it's a gimmick. Okay, so just a quick recap. You've got spot and flood in both of them. You can choose which one you come in on with the M2. You cannot do that with the M1. You have a much longer distance in your spotlight in the M1 and a zoomable option as well. In the M2, you simply just have one output and one sized hotspot, so no zoom. You have a max output of 3,200 lumens here in the cool white version and a max output of 2,300 lumens here in the neutral white version. You have strobe in the M1. You have no strobe in the M2, but you have auxiliary in the M2, no auxiliary in the M1. And I forgot to say, you have the ability, 1, 2, 3, to have spot and flood in the M2. You don't have that ability in the M1. All right, let's go to night shots, see how these guys perform. They're both very, very cool. I'll let you guys make your decision, and then we will come back for some final thoughts, prices, and where to buy. See you in a sec. All right, so there is the M1 on turbo, on flood. A lot of light. Just a lot of light. When I turn it off, darkness, double click, bang. So we've got a lot of light coming out of that. In fact, let's just go over here. There we go. That's a good one for the flood. So we've got a lot of light here. Now, switching to spot, and I gotta zoom it out because I know it's probably not going to be a fair fight, but I got to zoom it out. Look at that. Very useful. Look at that. It's just awesome. That's getting that entire, that doesn't look big from here. I'm telling you, that hotspot is probably like 5+ meters across at that distance. That is huge to be engulfing the top of that tower. Getting at the back wall, tree back there. Very, very useful throw. So flood, throw. All right, keep that in mind because we're gonna go to the M2 now, the baby bro. All right, wow, flood on the M2. Might win. Maybe it wins. That's very impressive. Look at that. Flood on the M2 is cool, man. A lot of light. But I mean, both those floods worked really, really well. This is bloody good. This is bloody good. I'm impressed. Now, that's all you get for throw. So, put it to the test. It's reaching the top with less light intensity, and of course that means less clarity. So it starts to, massive hotspot earlier on, but the M1 can do that too because it can zoom. So let's not forget that. But that's still very impressive. Very impressive. Flood. But now here's the annoying thing. I got to change grips to turbo it and then change back to get ready to swap. That's the one annoying thing. Whereas with the M1, you do it all from this grip. So this grip here with the M2, right? I change it to spot, which is really cool at that distance actually. Change it to flood, but now I've got to change my grip, double click back there and then change it back again to get ready. Otherwise, I suppose I could do it with my thumb. Actually, yeah, I could change it. Actually, if I did it this way, nah, it doesn't really work. It's a bit finicky. But spotlight's cool on the M2. That's all you get, but that's cool. That is cool. That's enough. You know, if you're not wanting crazy distances like you can get with the M1, then that's plenty, man. There's plenty. You're seeing everything. You just don't have proper clarity and intense hotspot at a great distance. But still lighten up that fence back there. I've moved forward now, so we're probably like 80 meters away, but 90 maybe, but that's still lighting it up. And then over here, really cool as well. And, fraction of the price as well. I think it's like half price. All right, that's it. Change grips, turn it off. See ya. All right, so before we go into night shots, let's cover prices. $415 over here, $235 over here. So you're talking a difference of almost $200. Now, you get mad flood in this light, absolutely. And you get pretty good throw. It doesn't compare to this, however. This thing performs really well. So I continue to be amazed at what this thing can do, but you're paying a premium. So what's it going to be? Is it going to be the pocket clip that does it for you? Is it going to be the smaller compact size that does it for you? Or do you just think, nah, mate, I want the ability to zoom, let's get it here. So I want the ability to zoom, I just want that ability. I want the ability to go from, 50 meters to 1600 meters of throw. So these two are very similar, but they have very different aspects about them as well. You can get both in neutral and cool. I believe you can get this in neutral. I believe. I hope I'm not lying. But look, I love different things about them. I love the pocket clip in the M2. I love the weight as well. I love the fact that you know what it's going to come in on when you click either spot or flood before you turn it on. That's awesome. I love the auxiliaries as well. If we just get them back, I love that, man. I don't think it's a gimmick. I think it is cool. When would you use it? I don't know, but I like it. I like having it there. Strobe on the M1 doesn't really do it for me. It's good to have, I guess, but I wouldn't use it. So which one are you going to choose and why? My answer, this is a tough one. My answer is the M1 still. The distance that this thing can achieve is too special and it's very impressive. And for that reason, I'm going to go the M1. But if you just take a look at them again, man, they are cool lights to have. And right next to each other, they are not too dissimilar in size, although obviously the M1 does hold, it's going to be a big presence in your pocket. Whereas the M2 is not really. It's nice and light compared to the M1 and it's got a pocket clip. Thank you very much. So look, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Night shots are night shots. Tell me what you think about them. But definitely because of the throw on the M2, on the M1, I'm going to go with the M1. All right, thanks very much for watching, guys. Until next time, stay cool and stay safe. See ya.